Hi everybody, my name is Jen and my husband's name is Jeremy. We have already done 3 IUIs previous to the one we are going to be doing this cycle. So this cycle makes number 4. The first 2 we ended up having successful pregnancies, but they ended up in miscarriages, so they were chemical pregnancies. I didn't make it past 4 weeks, but we ended up, I'll just kind of give you a little history. So we have male factor infertility. My husband has low sperm count and his testosterone levels are low, so he doesn't produce a lot of sperm like a normal person his age would. I am 33 and my husband just turned 40 this past January. He does have 2 children from a previous marriage, but after he had his 2 boys, he and his wife had decided that they were going to have, or he was going to have a vasectomy, and then he ended up getting it reversed after the 2 of them split up. So he and I have been together for almost 8 years in July, and we've been married for, it'll be 3 years in July. So, yeah, so we've never not protected ourselves. So I would say the entire 8 years we never, tried to not get pregnant, but like we weren't really actively trying, like really, really trying. But it's been about 3 years now that we've been actively trying, and I've been on several rounds of Clomid before, and so the first IUI we had was last year back in March, and that one came up successful. I had a positive pregnancy test it was, I think, 10 or 11 days past my IUI, and I started off with 32 HCG, and then my numbers started going down. They went down to 16 a couple days later because my OBGYN wanted to repeat my HCG and make sure that my numbers were increasing, and they didn't. They ended up going down, so that's when he told me that I was having a chemical pregnancy or a miscarriage. So that being said, we ended up waiting a couple of months because he wanted to make sure that my body, tried to go back to normal and have good cycles. So we ended up not doing another IUI until June of last year. And again, we ended up coming up pregnant, and I ended up having another chemical pregnancy. So for whatever reason, I wasn't implanting, and so my doctor decided to refer me to an RE, or a reproductive endocrinologist. And at the present time, I had just decided that I just wanted to stay with my OB and, try and give it another chance. So we tried again, and that cycle was in October of last year, and I got a BFN. So it was completely negative, no ifs, ands, or buts around it. I ended up getting my period on the usually day that I always do. And then after that, we were like, okay, let's go ahead and try to go to the reproductive endocrinologist. So my husband and I went and had a consultation, met with him, and he had all my husband's information, his sperm counts and everything from it, all of his semen analysis results. He had 3 semen analysis done, over the course of a year or 2 that we were trying to get pregnant from last year and the previous year. So previous to our IUIs, that's how we found out my husband had low sperm count, was through a semen analysis. So then to kind of catch you up to speed now, we had to wait after October of last year because I ended up developing subacute thyroiditis, and I started off extremely hyperthyroid. My levels were started off at 0.007, and my T3 and T4 levels were just crazy. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I do remember that in the beginning, my endocrinologist thought that I had Graves' disease, and I had so many crazy symptoms. I was in and out of the hospital. My heart rate was extremely high. It would get up to 160 beats per minute just being in a resting position. So that was really scary. And then it's just been until recent. I recently got to go ahead, and that was back in November. I think it was the end of November, beginning of December, when I was first found out I had a thyroid issue. And then my levels moved from hyperthyroid to hypothyroid. And then that's when I was diagnosed with subacute thyroiditis, because that's generally how thyroiditis works, is it goes from one extreme to another. And so I started off with hyper and then went to hypo. And now I was previously on propranolol and then atenolol to, kind of regulate my symptoms and whatnot when I was hyperthyroid. And now that I'm hypothyroid, I was finally put on Synthroid to try and normalize my levels. Well, they've come back, and they are now on the high side of normal. So normal is in between, at my clinic anyway, is 0.25 to 5.0, and I'm 4.43. So it's still on the high side of normal. However, when you're trying to get pregnant, they want it to be in between, anywhere in between 1 and 3. That way there, isn't any issues with you as the carrier of the baby, and for the baby if we were to have a possible pregnancy. So with that being said, since I am on Synthroid, my endocrinologist decided to go ahead and let us try another IUI and just see how things go. And again, I am on Clomid. I do ovulate on my own, so the problem doesn't lie with me. It's still my husband. But I mean, aside from the thyroid issue, there isn't anything else wrong with me. All of my tests and everything, I've had an HSG, an SHG. They've done every single test that you can think of when trying to conceive, and everything on my end comes back normal. So, but I'm back on Clomid in order to increase the targets and give my husband's sperm, a bunch of targets to aim for. So, I start that tomorrow night. So I'm on day 2 of my cycle today, and then tomorrow I'll be on day 3. So I'll be using Clomid from cycle day 3 through cycle day 7. And then I have my, I don't need to do a baseline blood work, which usually they do day 3 baseline blood work at my clinic. But I don't have to do that because I'm very closely monitored through my endocrinologist for my thyroid disorder. So it would just kind of be silly to kind of double dip into the same information that they would be collecting. So, so with that being said, as of right now, we're just, kind of waiting and seeing how things pan out. But I already have my trigger shot ready, so I will be triggering when I get the A-OK to do so. But just for now, we're just waiting to start the Clomid. I've already scheduled for my first follicle check. That'll be April 7th. I believe it's at 10:15 in the morning. So I'll be going to that. And then I'm one that, since I do ovulate on my own when I'm on Clomid, I tend to ovulate sooner rather than later. When I'm not on Clomid, I usually ovulate on anywhere between cycle day 13 to cycle day 15. When I'm on Clomid, I can ovulate anywhere between cycle day 10 to cycle day 12 or 13, just depending upon what my body decides to do. Yeah. That's basically it. So, yeah, I should be looking to ovulate sometime next week. So generally what happens after you go for the follicle scan, my doctor will tell me when to trigger, and it'll usually be, it'll probably be that night. So April 7th, I'll probably have to trigger at 10 p.m. And then 36 hours later, which would put me on Saturday, would be for our IUI. So my husband and I will have to go to the clinic or whatnot, and he will have a specimen gathered here at home because my husband doesn't feel comfortable collecting it in the office. It's kind of awkward. So it's nice that, we don't live very far away, and the collection has to take place within 30 minutes for the time it's collected to the time that you take it to the office. So we live like maybe 15 minutes away from the office. So it's really nice that it's not very far. So he'll be collecting that at home, and then, we'll go in and have the IUI, and we'll just go from there. But I just wanted to update you guys and let you know my history, as well as, I guess, be able to track it for myself, for my own peace of mind, to see how things go. I wish I would have started it when I started this process last year with all of my, with my 3 previous IUIs. But I do know that if this IUI doesn't work, then we will be moving on to IVF. And, I guess we'll just kind of see how this goes and take it from there. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. I'm an open book and have no problem with, answering any questions as far as, what I've been through in my journey. And hopefully I can, help you. And if you're just starting the process, or if you're, going through the same things, then we'll have things to talk about that's, are related. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment below. Otherwise, wish us the best of luck, and good luck to all the things that you're going to be doing. And yeah, so I'll try and keep everyone updated. I probably won't update every single week or anything. I'm really not that much into videos. As you can see, I look kind of crazy. But yeah, so please excuse this. It's a towel that's over top of our window. My husband is someone that does not like to have any light inside of our house. So it looks kind of ghetto and trashy, but we are not. uh, But yeah, so it does look kind of crazy. But yeah, anyway, so I'm just kind of rambling, and I'm getting rather tired. It's a little after 11 here. So I'm going to take my tired butt to bed. And until next time. All right, bye.